but I have the same person who voices Naruto does me.
Yeah.
And then we also had all the other voice actors for the boys.
Yeah.
It's so interesting talking to them because they're like, they study our personalities and they
wow.
know us so well because they've, basically role played as us for hundreds of videos, hundreds of hours collectively. And so it's pretty interesting because they sometimes they're like, when I talk, I accidentally start talking like you because I've mimicked you so much that it's kind of become a little bit like us. That's what one of them said to one of the boys.
That's
and
crazy.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And they know everything about us. They know our mannerisms. They're like, hey, Lamborghini is hard to translate. Maybe use a different word. And we're like, oh, really?
Whoa.
And they're like, oh, you use this adjective a lot. And I've noticed you do this and you have this quirk. Because they have to study how we speak so they can mimic it properly so the dubs come across real.
Are you considering that in your content of how do we make this more global?
No, I just do. No. I'm just me. Okay. I don't care. But it is interesting when I meet them and they're like, why do you say this word a lot? And one of the ones a lot, it's like Lamborghini. Apparently that's hard to translate. Yeah. And they're all like, any other car. They're like, Ferrari. And I'm like, how is Ferrari easier to say than Lamborghini? And they're like, they try to explain it. I don't understand,
But on the topic of
because when we're talking to them, we're talking with Google Voice. I'm typing in, why is Ferrari better than Lamborghini? And then I hit play and it says that. And they grab the phone and they're like,
that'll be interesting when that's happening live. Where there's live translations happening between people.
Exactly. I should be able to talk into it and your AirPods auto-translate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably pretty close.
No.
But on the English dub thing, did you watch Squid Game in Korean with English subtitles? Or did you watch it
because
as
of anime, I'm kind of conditioned to use subtitles, so
Got it.
I watch the subtitles.
Yeah, because I would say that, when I think about Squid Game, I think a lot about, is the next big YouTuber from somewhere else?
Yes.
Right? Is the next big YouTuber from India, and with multi-language audio, they get kind of imported into America the same way that Squid Game got imported into America.
Agreed.
Right? I think that's a real possibility. That maybe YouTube has been so US based for so long.
Well, just US and Europe.
US and Europe.
Based,
yeah, English based. That maybe we need a completely different culture to watch.
I'm excited.
Right?
I want to see it.
Yeah, that feels like, if there was a Casey Neistat in India, showing us his
so
daily life,
cool
I'd be
to
like,
see.
wait, that's super cool. And I could understand it.
Imagine a Ryan Trahan from India, where it's I won't even name a country, but just, these other countries that have lower RPMs, so they couldn't ever do these bigger budget stuff or build sets. Ryan isn't spending that much money on videos. So finding a Ryan in one of these other countries, that just is getting by on personality for the most part, would be very fascinating. And then to see that personality in this other culture and environment, I do think would do pretty well.
I think that's probably the next thing we're going to experience.
I would love to see it.